two different continuous circuits. So you're going to have 3 different moves to perform as many times as you can in a 4-minute time span. After that first 4 minutes is done, we're going to move to a new set of 3 moves that, again, you will be doing as many times as you can in that 4 minutes, and then we will move on to Workout 1.0. Workout 1.0, we have a variety of supersets. These supersets are done in a kind of like a giant set fashion, which means that both of these moves are targeting very similar muscle groups. So for these moves, you're going to be performing them for 50 seconds apiece with 10 seconds of rest. You're going to go through non-stop. So technically you're going to go 4 rounds with 50 seconds, going top, bottom, then on to the next. For your Workout 2.0, you have 4 different moves. You're performing for 1 minute per move with 10 seconds of rest twice through. And then for the finisher, we've got some fun continuous circuits coming your way. We will explain that more when we get there. Okie dokie, folks. So for your first continuous circuit for your warm-up, you're going to have 3 different moves. Move number 1, you can use a band if you need to, and you don't have a band, you could also use a pair of small dumbbells. You're going to be performing delt flies. So Emerson is putting the small band on his forearms like this. He's going to be driving his forearms apart and then back together. Little key points for this one, folks. Keep your ribs tucked in, keep your core engaged, stay nice and tall through the spine. The only thing that we want moving are those arms and through the shoulder blades. Move number 2, we're going to be performing overhead reach. This is a very quick transition if you're using the band here. Emerson is going to be keeping his elbows as close together as possible. The tendency for this move is to let your elbows drift out. If you let your elbows drift out, you're not getting the appropriate work happening through your shoulders. So it's a nice, slow and steady move, and it should burn. If it's not quite burning, then there's probably something going on. Message Kyle behind the scenes. Move number 3, we're going to be performing an external rotation. So you'll keep the band in the same place. You'll take your palms and face them toward the ceiling. You can go both arms at the same time or one arm at a time, alternating from side to side, whichever suits you best. We're going to be doing 20 reps per move. So for the delt flies, 20, it's plain and simple. For the overhead reaches, 20. Now for the external rotations, you could do either 20 aside or 20 like together, whichever you guys feel suits you best, okay? So we're going to start with that 4-minute timer. I'm going to pop it up on the clock here, and we are going to get the party started. Get the equipment you need. All of this can also be done body weight only or with dumbbells. We're going to get started, 4 minutes on, in 3, 2, 1, and begin. So again, it's a continuous circuit. You're going to be keeping track of your own reps. You're going to be performing 20 per move. This is a perfect amount for it to feel quite challenging by the time you reach 3/4 of the way. It should be fairly challenging. You should be feeling that burn, and you should be actively making that decision to push through that burn each time. It's not going to feel super automatic. You have to push for it. So I'll keep reiterating the 3 moves that you're going to be working on. One is the delt fly that Emerson is performing here. If you have just dumbbells at home, you can hinge forward with those dumbbells and do this version instead. Or if you have a big red band, you can hold onto the band like this and open up that band and close it again, nice and slow and steady. With the overhead reaches, if you don't have a band, just go body weight only with it. Keep those arms parallel to one another, lifting and lowering. Very common problem in this overhead reach is allowing the ribs to pop up and come down, really hinging at that mid-back. We want to try to avoid that. We want to try to work through the true range of motion through our shoulders and not borrow from our lower back. So really focus in on that when you're performing that move. With those external rotations, you want to keep the elbows tucked into the sides. So they're not out here. You're not performing the move with your arms way out here. You want to keep them tucked in. Now the burn is real, folks. I understand that you're going to feel like you want to take breaks. I want you to take breaks only after, let's say you're feeling the burn. I want you to decide to do at least 2 more reps when you feel like you need to stop right now. So I feel, oh my goodness, I need to stop right now, perform 2 more reps, and then continue.
They're already starting the jumping burn.
Oh, yay. We are just over that halfway point, folks. So if you've made it through at least 1 round, like Emerson has, you will be able to start on your 2nd round and know that you have time to complete 2 full rounds. Let's try, even if the timer goes off and you have no time remaining, if you still have some movement left, finish off that movement while we demo the next series of moves, just so you stay even and your body is nice and warm for what's to come.
Timer on the clock, it's just not connected.
Sorry guys, my timer wasn't connected to the clock, but we are fixing this, and there we are. It is on. Just in time to show you that we are at 1 minute remaining.
Perfect.
You guys can talk to yourself at home. You can pump yourself up, give yourself a little bit of positive vibes.
Geez.
It's all good. Just keep working through it. Keep breathing as well. Holding your breath won't help you in these situations. If anything, it's going to make it worse. So let's really focus on deep belly breathing, getting us through these burning sensations and fueling our body with the oxygen that it needs to perform these moves. We have about 30 seconds remaining here, guys. A very, very small chunk of your morning. Really petite, you know. You can work through this 30 seconds.
Jenny B is the other one, like, cranking them out.
Of course. She's not even human. That's it, guys. We have 16 seconds left. Raven, I'm so happy you could join us today. That's a name I haven't seen on our board in a while.
Hey,
I'm so
Raven.
happy you're here. You have 5, 4,
Let's go, Jenna. 1 more.
2, and
Oh,
relax.
thank you.
If you haven't finished, go ahead and finish the round that you're on. Emerson's going to take a second, shake it out, breathe, because we have 3 new moves with a new continuous circuit coming your way. Move number 1, we're going to be performing something called asymmetrical push-ups. Now, if this is something that's uncomfortable or unfamiliar, please feel free to take a knee and do these from your knees. So what's going to happen, you're going to take 1 arm in a wide push-up stance and 1 arm in a tricep push-up stance. So you are asymmetrical. From there, you're going to perform push-ups. Again, we have 20 reps of everything. So I would suggest to do 10 reps with one side asymmetrical, right hand out, left hand in, and then switch like this. Move number 2, we're going to be doing a body weight shoulder press or overhead shoulder press. So you're in the downward dog or pike position, and you're driving your forehead towards the floor. Now, ideally, you want to keep your head in between your arms here. You don't want your body hinging through the shoulders, because then that's not quite the muscle group that we're looking to work here. If you need to make this a little bit easier, you can come to a knee, and you can perform a very similar movement. Number 3, we're going to be doing a shoulder press bicep curl combination. So get your brains all sorted. So what's actually going to happen, you're going to have 1 arm performing a shoulder press and 1 arm performing a bicep curl. So you're going to go like this. Boom. So you look like a piston in a truck. It is going to be hard to work your brain around this movement.
Took me
if you've
a few
never done
seconds
anything
there.
like this. So take your time with it. Pick weights if you're unsure with the move that might be a little bit lighter, so you can get the move down pat. You'll be doing 10 and then switching sides and performing 10 in the opposite side. So with those 3 moves in mind, we're going to set that timer back up for 4 minutes. It's going to start on the clock, I promise you that this time. And we will get going, and I'll keep giving little corrections, modifications, and things to think about as we go. So your 4 minutes is on the timer. We're going to get started in 3, 2, 1, and begin. So we're starting with those asymmetrical push-ups, folks.
5, 6,
You're doing 10 per side.
9.
Keep in mind, you do not need to perform these from your toes. If you're more of a beginner, and this is a very weird concept to you, please go to your knees, take your time through these. After those symmetrical push-ups, you'll be completing the overhead shoulder presses, getting into that pike or downward dog position, and driving towards the floor. Now, if you are more advanced, feel free to do full handstand push-ups. If you are more beginner, you can come down to your knees and find a very similar movement from knees. Again, performing 20 of each, you're going to feel the burn, I promise you that. After those shoulder presses, you're going to be going to the shoulder press bicep curl combination. Your shoulders are going to feel a certain kind of way after this warm-up, folks. Our first minute is done and dusted. Staying consistent with the movements, trying not to push through for the sake of getting many rounds in. I would rather you get fewer rounds in and really good quality warm-up so that your muscles are ready to go. Amazing. We love working the brain. We love trying to get it to coordinate itself in different ways. It makes us much stronger in so many different things in our life that have nothing to do with exercise. So when we're doing a move like this one that Emerson's performing now, it is helping us strengthen many different avenues of our life, which is really freaking cool. So let's keep focused, let's keep performing these moves, and we've got about 2 minutes, 15 seconds left on the clock before we go into a stretching sequence for the morning. That's it. Keep on pushing through these moves, folks. Again, if you need to take little breaks, feel free to take those little breaks. Try to make them brief. Shake out the body and then get back into it as soon as you're physically able to, and push through these moves. Knowing that you've got a new and fresh move coming up. 20 reps isn't huge, it's not tiny, it's the perfect set for what we're doing right now. That's it, folks. We have less than 2 minutes left, which means we've crossed that halfway point.
Thank you, guys.
Pushing, pushing, pushing. I know that you guys are feeling this at home too. We are all in this together. That is the fun thing, whether you're in a group in person or you're in a group on Zoom, you know that there are other people experiencing exactly what you're experiencing and feeling the things, the thoughts, the vibes that you're feeling, which is amazing. It gives us our sense of community, folks. We have about 1 minute remaining, so wherever you are, let's really focus and dig deep and push through to get to that final round. Make sure you're still breathing, folks. Make sure you're connecting that breath to your movement. Emerson's on his final move here. He's got about 40 seconds to finish. You guys have the same amount, obviously, so work on whatever rounds you're on. Really focus and move through these moves. Again, not meant to be fast. I'm sure none of us can really go that fast because these moves are true burnout moves. You have less than 30 seconds remaining, guys. Dig deep, push through. We've got a stretch coming your way, so you get to relax a little bit. We get to move our body in a way that's not as challenging, so you have that to look forward to. In about 10 seconds, we're going to finish off. If you have more reps to accomplish after this 10 seconds is over, feel free to finish what you're up to, and then we'll move into a stretch. So for those of you who are still working on what you're doing, finish off there. We're going to grab a little sip of water here in the studio, and then we're going to guide you through a stretch before we go into workout 1.0.
Oh, man.
I feel like the burn was real.
Yes.
All right. We're going to start our stretch with a nice gentle torso rotation. Just taking our body and swishing from side to side, giving our body an opportunity to just relax, open up, take some deep breaths here. We've got a couple of unique moves coming your way today. So I'm going to be helping you through a series of stretches that we haven't really done much of in the studio, specifically wrist stretches. So from here, folks, we're going to go into windmills. So we're going to go down, touch opposite hand to opposite foot, really focus on that up and reach. Think about engaging through your core a little bit here. We're going to need some core support for some of these moves. So try to keep your core engaged through all of these stretches. Keep it present. We're going to do about 4 more windmills, and then we're going to go down into a tabletop position to stretch out our wrists. Really breathing in with those stretches, folks. Once you're ready to, meet us in a tabletop position. So there's multiple different ways to do this. You're going to take the palms of your hand and you're going to put them down on the floor like what Emerson's doing. From here, you're going to take your body and you're going to make circles with it over your wrists and then back. You have the opportunity to put as much or as little weight through your hands as what's comfortable. You're going to do about 5 to 6 circles, and then you're going to take your hands and rotate them out just a tiny little bit. You'll perform the exact same series of movements. You're going to keep rotating your hands until your fingers point towards your knees, or until your leg or your wrists say, I don't have the mobility anymore, this is where I stop. So you're going to just keep working. Some people are going to be able to point all the way through. Some people even might have hypermobility. You can see that Emerson is maxing out here, and that's okay. We just want to work through the true range of motion through those wrists and get them ready for a little bit of pressure later. So once we're done with this, we're going to sit back onto our heels. We're going to take our arms together like this, and we're going to rotate our arms around and just stretch through what we just did nice and gently. So you can go in both directions, just keeping this part of your hand and then rolling it through, keeping physical contact the whole time. Lovely. From here, guys, we can just relax, take our arms, and give ourselves 10 gigantic bear hugs. Don't even have to stand up for this. You could just be doing your thing on the floor, giving yourself a high five on the back, you know. Next up, guys, you're going to do the exact same thing, but instead of out, you're going to go up. You're going to swing down and up, really opening up through that chest. Unreal. So you're going to perform up to 10 of these. Once you're finished that, guys, you're going to land in a high plank position. We're going to turn on our core a little bit, so we're in that high plank position. I would like to see 10 slow and controlled shoulder taps. Once your plank shoulder taps are complete, you're going to walk your hands to your feet. Now, when you walk your hands to your feet, I want you to think of that movement as an opportunity to engage through your shoulders and tuck up your core. So you're kind of working through those shoulder girdles, you're warming up the upper body while you work. So tiny little moves through those hands. When you can no longer reach the floor, you can bend through your knees and just hang in that forward fold position. If you feel any tension through your low back, bend a little bit more through your knees, or take a wider stance, or both. You can rock side to side. You can perform whichever micro movements feel good in your body in a forward fold. And whenever you're ready to, very slowly, one vertebrae at a time, stack to a standing position. Once you're done that, guys, our guided stretch is complete. Grab some water. If you need any more stretches, please feel free to do them while we introduce to you what Workout 1.0 will look like. So Workout 1.0, we have 4 different supersets. Superset number 1, you're going to have an iso hold alternating row. So what that means is you have a set of dumbbells here. You're going to be holding the dumbbells at the top of the rep and alternating, releasing one arm down at a time. Emerson is showing this move in a split stance squat, which helps those of us who have a hard time keeping our core in control the entire time. That is the stance that I prefer because I find that my lower back really does like to take over. If you're not one of those people, a hinge forward position, like a deadlift position, is totally great as well, and you can feel free to use that. Move number 2, you're going to be doing a hinged forward ITY raise. Again, you can do that split stance positioning if that feels better for you, but we're going to demo in the hinged positioning. You're going to start with an I, so the I just means that your arms are parallel coming straight in front of you, and then your arms are coming down and then popping up to make a Y shape, and then making a T shape. So you notice that Emerson's hands are facing each other or the floor the whole time that he's performing these moves. That's what I'd like for you to be performing as well. So those are the 2 moves. You're going to perform for 50 seconds with 10 seconds of rest. Immediately, once we're done the first round of ITY, 10 seconds, and you're right back into those rows. So there's no breaks in between the supersets. You're going 2 rounds through non-stop. Once we're done the first one, we will bring you the second one, demo it, and perform it. So let's get this party started. 4 rounds, 50 seconds, starting in 3, 2, 1, and begin. The timer is on. So let's really focus on keeping that core engagement. Let's focus on keeping a nice straight line from the tip of your head to your tailbone. And let's focus on not making this overly fast. We want some tension here, some time under tension. We want the muscles to have a little bit of work. Especially if we're going really heavy, I would love to see you challenge yourself with heavy and slow today. You just heard that the halfway mark has beeped, so we're on the descending half of this 50 seconds. We've got about 13 seconds remaining, pushing through this move, breathing through. You've got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You have 10 seconds to grab your dumbbells for your IYT raises. Now you can also choose to use a band for these as well. If you have a red band, you can loop it around your feet and you can perform IYTs with the tension of a band. The tension of a band is going to feel quite difficult, arguably more difficult than what it will feel like with these dumbbells. So there's many options available. If you're a beginner, also you can feel free to do this in a laying down position and just lifting the arms. That's a really great beginner modification. Just like what Emerson is showing here, this is a great mod for those of us who find that our lower back fires up too much. So this is a great spot to be at too. Works very similarly. We have 10 seconds left here, folks, and then we're going right back up to the top with our alternating rows. Taking a deep breath, you have 10 seconds to get into place with the equipment you need for your rows. So again, controlled, slow. If you need to, you have a drop set of weights beside you that's a little bit lighter if you're getting fatigued with this move and you're starting to feel it in the wrong spots. Work through it, guys. This is what growth feels like. It is challenging. That is why it is growth. We have 30 seconds remaining. Emerson's choosing to drop set, so he's listening to the cues that his body's telling him, which is important for you folks to do at home as well. 20 seconds remaining.
Wow. A lot of mid-back here.
Yep.
It's killer.
So guys, we've got about 10 seconds left before we transition to our final round of ITY raises, and then you get a brand new superset with 2 different muscle groups involved. Good. Going into that final round of ITY, and then we get to move on along. The workout train is chugging along the tracks. Lovely work, folks. Keep checking in with your body. Keep giving yourself that mental checklist. Is my core tight? Is my hinge position strong? What are my arms doing with these weights? Am I just swinging them? Do I have control? Keep asking yourself these types of questions, and it will help you with self-correction at home.
Wow, it's fired up.
Yeah, that's great. We have less than 30 seconds remaining, folks. You can do this. Breathe. You've got this. This is the way we like to start our Tuesdays, with an upper body burn. It's just going to keep getting better and better. We've got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Really good work, folks. Grab some water at home. We're going to take a second here to grab water as well, and then we're going to move into our second superset, which is focusing on a different muscle group. So for our second superset, the formatting is going to be identical. 50 seconds on, 10 seconds of rest, run twice through. This is going to be a bicep intensive superset. Move number 1, you're going to be performing a seated preacher curl. So as you see, Emerson's elbows are right above his knees. They're planted in place there. They're stationary. From there, his forearms lift up and down. This is going to really isolate that bicep. Now, when we're in this position, I want us to really focus on his posture. So his posture from the tip of his head to his tailbone. I could set a book on his head and it wouldn't fall off. It is very important that we don't curve into this move. If you find that having your knees up in this range of motion makes you hunch forward, then it's possible to sit on a chair or a bench or something different that allows that range of motion without curving forward. It could also be an option to backstop your back against a wall so you have something to press against to keep yourself straight. Move number 2, we're doing an iso hold, alternating wide bicep curl. So it's a lot of words. We're holding out into a wide position. One arm holds static in the very middle of the rep, and the other arm works its way through. So you can either choose to switch at 25 seconds halfway, or if you're more advanced, you can stay on one side the whole first round and switch for the whole second round. I'm going to leave that choice in your hands. We're going to get the timer up, 50 seconds, starting with our preacher curls in 3, 2, 1, and begin. So guys, again, we've got that nice tall spine. We're trying not to rock our body into the movement. We're trying to make our biceps do all the work. Now, with something like a preacher curl, it's almost impossible to cheat the bicep because of the positioning we've put you in. This means that you might have to go lighter than what you usually bicep curl if you're just standing. That's fine. That's a good thing. It means that we're targeting in a very different way and that you're able to grow in a new way today. So we've just passed that halfway mark. We are going to that 10-second range, and you're going to be working down towards that break. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Taking that 10 seconds to stand up and get in that wide orientation for the second move. And beginning. So you have one side that's staying static the whole time, and the other side that's working through the full expression of this movement. Again, we don't want the body rocking or pushing or assisting, biceps only, okay? We are we're close to that halfway point, so mentally prepare for the switch coming up. And now it's halfway, so we're switching sides. That is your cue, folks. Focus on in. Allow the biceps to do their job without interference from anything else. Keep breathing through the move. You can do this. It's in your power to finish this rep. You've got 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, and relaxing. Really good work. Heading right on back to those preacher curls, guys. Small little break here. We're going to be moving to a completely new muscle group next. So I want you focusing on burning these as hard as you can. On knowing that it's like a one and done type situation. You don't have to focus on this again. So now is the moment. Now is the time to tune into your own radio frequency and feel that muscle group.
Oh, Heather.
You're doing it. Keep it up, guys. Keep pushing. Keep breathing. Keep setting the expectations for yourselves high. Don't allow yourself to cheat out of it, guys. You're not going to grow. You're not going to get the results you want if you cheat it. You've got about 13 seconds remaining here. It's okay to take little breaks if you feel that you can't keep up with the technique. I would prefer that to pushing through with bad technique. You have 3, 2, 1, resting. Grabbing that set of dumbbells, going wide again for your final round of your wide iso and your full expression bicep curls. Again, guys, you're keeping that core nice and tight. You're keeping a little bit of engagements through the glutes and the quads to support the movement that you're doing here. But all in all, it is the bicep show. 2 tickets to the gun show, socially distanced only, but here we are. We've got about 30 seconds remaining, folks. It's almost time to switch if you're switching at halfway.
Oh,
And halfway.
Come on.
Do that switch, folks, if you need to. We are really crushing it here, working on many different spots in those biceps. No exercise is a one-size-fits-all. There's multiple ways to target different parts of each muscle. This is a fun way to do it. We've got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax.
Oh, thank you.
Really good work, folks. Take a moment, grab that water, take a deep breath. We have our third out of 4 supersets coming your way. The first move, you have an option, okay? Option number 1 is you can perform chest presses at whichever weight is best suited for you. I would love to see a little bit heavier, a little bit slower, controlled movements, kind of the vibe of what we're going for today. So with our chest press, we're keeping the weights over the chest. It's not going towards our face. The weights aren't traveling towards the belly button. We're pushing straight over chest. With the second move, that is the option for this, if you don't want to do chest press, you can perform push-ups instead. So you can flip over and do push-ups. The most advanced version of what you can personally do is what I want to see. The second move in your superset will be a pancake press. So the goal of a pancake press isn't so much that you're pushing towards the ceiling. You want to be driving your hands towards one another as hard as they can while you push to the ceiling. If you're missing that squeeze element, this move is too similar to a chest press. You have to focus on engaging as hard as you can through that press, and then you're getting the benefit of this move, okay? It should be so challenging. You saw that Emerson was using the little pad here. That's not easy. That is incredibly challenging because of his pressure that he's using in his own arms. So we're going to put that timer back on the clock. We're starting with either your chest presses or your push-ups. You can choose. We'll get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Begin. The timer has started. Make sure that you guys are breathing. Make sure your core is engaged. Your lower back should be firmly pressed against the floor to avoid any chance that your lower back will light up and try to assist. Okay? We're going nice and slow and controlled. Try not to let those elbows linger on the floor or bounce off the floor. We want to stay in control of every element of this move. Now it's funny because some of us will think, oh, it's just a little tap or a little bounce. But really, every single second of engagement is doing something. It's working something, and it's important. So let's really focus on that today. We have 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, and resting. Going right into our setup for pancake press. How much fun. You get about 6 seconds of laying on your back. Love that for us. The pressure in those hands should be as much as you can physically handle. Now, for some of us, it's going to be very challenging to keep that same pressure every single second of this 50 seconds. So, I challenge you, every time you exhale, to push a little bit harder into your object. Every time you inhale, allow yourself to retreat just by a little bit. That way, you know that you are giving yourself a moment of intense torque and slight release. You're going to get a lot of benefit out of that move. You've got about 13 seconds remaining here before you go back to the first move, which is your chest press or your push-up. If you want to mix it up, feel free to have started with your chest press and move to a push-up or vice versa. We've got 8 seconds left here. Choose your push-up or your chest press. The option is yours. And begin. That's it, guys. Breathing through these moves. Emerson is performing his push-ups this time around, showing that there's a variety of different ways to target the same muscle group. It is a fun challenge. We love mixing it up on a Tuesday morning. We have 30 seconds remaining here. Pushing through to the max, folks. You've got this. Halfway. Taking a deep breath. focusing on the road ahead, and allowing yourself to reach that destination with confidence, folks. We've got 15 seconds of work left. After this, we're going straight back to that pancake press. Less than 10 seconds. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, and flipping around if you were in push-ups. If you were in chest press, laying flat, grabbing that object, and beginning in 1 second, go.
Oh, I feel the pop.
There we go. Again, folks, if this is too challenging to maintain maximum pressure 100% of the time, use the cadence of your breathing and push with it. I would also suggest that if you are using your breath, don't have typical shallow breathing that we tend to go to during our everyday. Have long, deep, thoughtful belly breaths, and that will help you to have the amount of torque that we need for this move. You have 15 seconds remaining before we move on to our final superset. You guys are doing great. This is a lot of concentration. This is a lot of work today. We're thinking a lot today. I hope you guys like it. Rest. Having a moment at home, breathing. We're going to grab water. And then we've got a whole new set of moves coming your way. Can you guys guess the muscle group? It's triceps. Fun fact, I like to call triceps triceratops because they sound the same and it makes me smile. So guys, we have a superset coming your way. This is a new move that we haven't performed before. So I want you guys to focus on it. We're going to be doing side skull crushers. So Emerson is showing a variation with the band here. Feel free to use a dumbbell here as well. What's going to be happening, you're bracing one arm right where the crease of your elbow is, right on the bicep side. You're going to drive the weight down towards your face and lift it up. You notice that the orientation of his elbow is to the side, not up, like a traditional skull crusher. So if you are more advanced, stick to this one side the entire time. If you're more beginner, please do a halfway switch. So this is move number 1, triceps. Move number 2, we're going to be moving into tricep kickbacks. With your tricep kickbacks, you have a couple of different options. We're going to hinge forward into that hinge position or that split stance position. You can choose to kick back both arms at the same time, or if you find it easier to concentrate one at a time, you can do one at a time. This move, I find, I have to go a little bit lighter on. It's a little bit more challenging. If you do one at a time, you can typically go a little bit heavier, but if you're doing 2 at the same time, I would suggest going a little bit lighter and having a really strong squeeze at the top of this move. I will coach you through it as we go. Let's get that timer set up for our single arm side skull crushers. We're going to get started, 50 seconds on the clock, final superset of workout 1.0 in 3, 2, 1, and begin. Emerson is making sure his core is stable by pushing his low back into the floor. His right arm is helping to stabilize his left arm. Whether you're beginner, intermediate, or advanced, this is a wise decision because we want to only be focusing on that tricep. We don't really want our shoulder stabilizers or any of those tiny little muscle groups that help to stabilize to kick in as much. So that is why our arm is bracing. That's your halfway point. Switching at halfway, let's do that now. From here, guys, once you reach that top spot, I want you to think of that muscle group, that little bump, that little lovely thing that's happening down the back of that arm. I want you to squeeze that as hard as you can. I want you to close your eyes and imagine what it feels like, what it looks like, and engage. From here, we're getting into our kickback position, grabbing the weights that we want, making the decision if we're going 2 at a time or 1 at a time. Same rules apply here, folks. I want a solid squeeze at the top of this movement. I want that moment of engagement. I also want a 0 count pause at the bottom. which means that when we get to this position, we don't hang out there. We immediately drive back up to the top. The only place you're allowed to stop is when you're at the top with straight arms and squeezing. You want the core to be as tight as possible to support your lower back. You want to keep pushing through this move with your breath as well. Try to keep from the tip of your head to the tip of your tailbone in a nice straight line. We have 8 seconds remaining here, folks. We are almost through till the end, and we're going to go right back up to the top. Relaxing, setting yourself up for your final round of side skull crushers. And here we go, folks. This is our final round, our final moments in workout 1.0 before we move on to workout 2.0. We're doing great things here, folks. I am so pleased with how these moves are coming together. Let's keep pushing and breathing. We are making some fun sounds this today. We can make ourselves a great soundtrack player. That is the halfway point, folks. Make sure that you switched at halfway. We have 15 seconds remaining before we move on to our final move of workout 1.0. You can do it. Push through. I know that we're really challenging those muscle groups today. That is the point. Relax. Really good work. Final move. Kickbacks are coming in hot. You've got this, folks. You can do this. And begin. Let it be noted that in our next 4 moves for workout 2.0, you are not working any of the muscle groups that you just targeted, which is fantastic for you. It means that 1, we're getting a large diversity of different muscle groups today. And 2, it means that all of those burnouts that you just had have the opportunity to rest. How thrilling. We love you guys so much. That is the halfway point, folks. If you're doing one side at a time, it's time to switch. 20 seconds remaining in workout 1.0 before you get a water break, and you get to watch us show you what 2.0 has in store. You have 10 seconds remaining. Breathe through it. You can finish this. You can do it. Do it for yourself. Do it for the feeling. And relax. Really nice work, guys. Grab that water. Shake out those muscles. I know that you're feeling it. I know because I heard all about it. Okay? So let's breathe. Workout 2.0 is coming your way. I'm going to put my pinky finger up and I'm going to drink my water.
Please.
All right.
She's enjoying this too much.
I am. Workout 2.0, folks. We have 4 different moves. You're going to be performing the moves for 60 seconds apiece to 10 seconds of rest twice through. Okay? First move, you're going to be performing trap shrugs. Holding on to a pair of dumbbells that are relatively heavy, you're going to shrug your shoulders straight up and straight down. Now, I love metaphors, guys. Imagine we're in a toaster. We're in that slot of a toaster. If you shrug forward, you're going to get zapped by the burny tongues of the toaster. If you shrug and you go backwards, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get burned. You have to think about going straight up, straight down, so that you don't get massacred by Heather's toaster. Okay? From here, guys, I want you to think about rolling the shoulders down as you come to that down spot and lifting as high, squeezing as high as you can in that top spot. Really, it's just like, I don't know, like we've said in the past, I don't know. That's what it should feel and look like. Move number 2, we have pinch grip delt flies. Now with the pinch grip, guys, this is very forearm activated. Okay, so we are grabbing weights that are lighter than what we would normally choose for a delt fly. What's going to happen is he's going to pull his arms up into a T position and then slowly lower them back down. Now in this particular move, we're going to go 2 to 2, which means 2 counts up, 2 counts down, no rest at the top, no rest at the bottom, continuous movement. Let's not allow move number 1 to creep into move number 2. Your traps are staying depressed. They're staying down the whole time. Move number 3, we're moving into lat pullovers. Now, we don't want to make this a core move, so it's very important that you copy the positioning that Emerson is showing with your feet down on the floor. Lower back is glued down. You're taking a heavy weight, and with a micro bend in your arms, you're going to lift overhead and then drive towards over chest. Let's really focus in on using this large muscle group right under our arm here called our lats. We are also going to experience some core activation, but let's not focus on making this a core move first and foremost. It's a lat move. Finally, we're going to do something called forearm rockers. Now, it's very important that you listen to my specific cueing. Cue number 1, you have to use your entire hand. Your fingertips should get just as much pressure as the heel of your hand in certain parts of this movement. The closer your knees are to your wrists, the more challenging this move is going to be, so pick your depth or width. From here, you're going to push all of your weight from your toes into your fingertips, and then using your fingertips, you're going to drive your body back towards your heels, okay? This is happening in your hands, and in effect, it is strengthening these puppies, these wrists, okay? You're also likely going to feel a little bit of quad activation here. So let's go back up to the top. We're starting with our trap shrugs. Workout 2.0. 1 minute of work per move. Slow and steady wins the race here, folks. We're going to get started in 3, 2, 1, and begin. Lots of shrugs, going straight up and down. You are now firmly in your toaster, okay? No going forwards, no going backwards. If you guys remember the board game Operation, if you go forwards or backwards, guess what's going to happen? That red warning light's going to come on and it's going to go, and it's going to be terrifying. So let's not do that. Straight up, straight down, control the move. We've got about 30 seconds left here, finding the pace that we can stay consistent at for the rest of this move. This isn't one that we're going to just like shrug as fast as we can. We need these muscles to pick up and understand what we're asking them to do. We have about 15 seconds remaining here. Keep pulsing through it. Keep checking in. Is my core engaged? My glutes are probably trying to stay tight here, which is what I want. Shoulders up, shoulders down. You got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Getting ready for your pinch grip delt flies, getting what you need.
Woo!
You have 3, 2, 1, and begin. So you're lifting up into a lateral delt raise, pinching onto those dumbbells. This is going to fatigue your grip strength, and your forearms are going to feel a certain kind of way. I know especially somebody who's watching gets concrete-like forearms. So if that's you, Jenny, I'm sorry, but I love you. I'm sure you're not.
Forearms are already gone.
Are they? I'm sure that happens to multiple humans that are watching us today. If that is you, then roll them out, guys. Just take a second and roll them out, and then re-engage in the workout. You have about 20 seconds remaining here. Really focusing in on this move, not allowing the shrugging, not allowing any kind of movement or bowing or bowing through the body. You want to stay a straight pillar of confidence and coordination today. You've got 4, 3, 2, 1, and on to the next. We're doing our lat pullovers, laying down on that floor, getting the positioning that we need, grabbing that dumbbell, getting acquainted with those lats. So guys, if you have a hard time feeling the lats, try doing a similar thing to the pancake press here. Think about pushing into the weight as you're lifting it down and up. Let me know if that helps activate the lats, if you're having a challenge finding them.
That helps.
Awesome. Keep breathing through that move. And if you're choosing to add that inward pressure, do it with your breath just like we did with the pancake press. It will help you to maintain better form throughout the entire minute, as opposed to only good form for part of it because you're fatigued too soon. So we have 18 seconds remaining here, folks. Breathing through this move, allowing the lats to do their job, engaging them, getting acquainted with them, talking about what's happening this weekend, being friends with our muscles. You have 3, 2, 1, On to our forearm rockers, our final move of the first round. So we're getting in a very similar position to that praying mantis, except this time we're focusing hard on pushing through our fingertips and really challenging the range of motion through our wrists. Now, a lot of us do not have very good range of motion in our wrists. They're often neglected, and it's easy to neglect them. I mean, it's kind of like a global thing, folks. It's very common. So this might be wildly uncomfortable. If that's the case, your knees will go to the floor, and you will go through your knees as a support system. You are allowed to put however much pressure through your wrists as what feels right and good for your body. Wrists are something you don't want to push too soon. It's not like muscle groups of larger sizes where you can push through something heavy. This will leave you tender. So please take your time and focus on making sure that it feels good and right. And resting. We're going to take a break here. We're going to grab some water, and then we're going to pop back up to the top. We're going to change the timing for this round. We're going to go, guys, for 35 seconds per round this time, instead of a minute. So I'm going to make that quick adjustment on my end, and you guys are going to continue with that water. Remembering we're starting with our shrugs, and then delt flies, and then lat pullovers. 35 seconds is going to pop up on the clock. We're going to get started with our shrugs in 3, 2, 1, and begin. So rounds are shorter this time, folks, which means that I want you to focus that much harder so that you feel the engagement that much sooner. I know that for me sometimes, if I'm going through a long period where I'm going for like a minute or a little bit longer, I generally take my time to get into the move, but if it's a more compressed time period, I like to try to find that right away. So let's be that person. Let's find it right away. You have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relaxing, folks. Going on to our delt flies with our pinch grip. Again, focusing on getting it right away. Pinching those weights. If you're like Emerson in the studio here and you feel like you can get going sooner than what you're being coached to do, feel free to get going right away. I would encourage that for all of our members. That's it. Breathing through the move, allowing the muscles to work really hard here, just focusing for that tiny, brief 35-second time. You have 13 seconds left. Really pushing through to the end, guys. Close your eyes. Feel those muscle groups do their magic. You have 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, relaxing, going straight to lat pullovers. We have a fun and fresh finisher coming your way right as soon as this final move is complete. So again, get acquainted with those lats, folks. Make it a lat party this morning. Really thinking about driving those hands in towards one another if you have a hard time finding those lats. Keeping the core engaged by driving the low back into the floor. You're doing fantastic. Breathe through the move. Don't hold your breath. This is your reminder that breathing is necessary for survival. You have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, almost there. And then finally onto your forearm rockers, your final time doing this move today. If your wrists are quite sensitive, go easy on yourself. Maybe even just performing the stretch that we did in the stretching sequence would be a great option for those of you who find this move very uncomfortable. We have about 20 seconds remaining here before we move into a fun, fresh finisher. 15 seconds, folks. Really challenging those wrists, really driving those fingertips into the floor, getting them involved, getting those fingers up-fingin'.
Jenna G got her knees right up at her forearms.
Amazing, that's incredible. Okay guys, that is it for Workout 2.0, short and sweet second round. For our finisher, we're gonna have 2-minute burnouts. You only have one move for 2 minutes, and you're gonna do it until your body says, nope. That's what we're looking for. Move number 1, you're performing push-ups. You can perform them from your knees. You can perform them from your toes. You can go wide grip, narrow grip, medium grip, off grip, anything. No grip, any kind of push-up, folks. 2 minutes on. We will let you know what the next one is when we get there. We want to keep you hanging. 2 minutes on the timer. Beginning push-ups in 3, 2, 1, and begin.
Sets of
I want you to set yourself a goal.
3.
Emerson set himself a goal of doing a certain amount of sets. I would love for you guys to do the same. Say, I'm not going to stop my push-ups until I reach 10.
3.
Once I've reached 10, I'll take a break, and then I'll do another 10. Give yourself little goals. If you don't give yourself goals, you're going to just kind of waffle through it. So I want you to set something up in your mind and be relentless with reaching it. We have 30 seconds already done. That's amazing. It's a quarter of it. We are doing great.
25.
Keep pushing through the move, guys. Really get in that chest. You can choose to hit triceps if you want. You can choose to go wide grip. You can choose to go
30.
off grip. You can choose to do the same one we did in the warm-up with asymmetrical grip. Play around. We are at that 1 minute mark right now. So that's a halfway point. You are on the downhill portion of this minute, which means that we have less time now than ever before. So let's really, really push through, guys. Push that body, push that mind. Sometimes it's not the mind we have to convince. Sorry, it's not the body we have to convince. It's up here. It's our mind. It wants to clock out before our body's ready. So let's really dig deep. Let's tell ourselves what we can do and what we're capable of, and let's do that. You have 30 seconds remaining. You're 3/4 of the way done this first burnout set.
Holy jeez.
25 seconds. It's a blink of an eye. It takes you longer to do so many things in this day. This is so short. Think about all the added value you're getting in these final 15 seconds that you wouldn't get in the 15 seconds driving to work or pouring coffee. I take that back. Pouring coffee is really important. You have 4, 3, 2, and rest. Incredible. Round number 2. We're going to be performing Superman pulses for 10 minutes. So you're going to be, or sorry, not 10 minutes. 2 minutes.
No. You scared me.
2 minutes. 10 minutes would be brutal. So you're in a prone position. Your feet and your upper body are off the floor and you're pulsing both at the same time, up and back down. If you're a beginner, I don't expect for you to get in like an inverted U, okay? I expect you to try your very hardest for 2 minutes. So let's get that timer on. We're gonna get started in 3, 2, 1, 2 minutes. This is your moment, folks. If you've ever been on and watched Smallville or watched Superman versus Batman, watch some DC comics, and you've been like, man, I wish I was Superman, or Superwoman, or Superperson. This is your moment to do it. This is your moment. This is your Superman training. This is your superhero training of the day. Let's push through as hard as we can. Let's really challenge ourselves. We're going to give ourselves, just like the first round, a certain rep range that we are going to be unrelenting in hitting before we take a break. I don't care if you're feeling like, oh, this is really hard and I want to stop right now. If your body isn't like completely muscle failure, you're still able to push through. Now, the only thing that I would say is if you're feeling actual pain, that does not apply to you. However, if you're just feeling muscle fatigue, push through it. You can do this. You've got 1 minute remaining right now. You're almost there. Think about all of the good things that are happening right now in your body. Challenge makes you stronger. Resistance makes you stronger. It helps you learn. It helps you push through. This kind of resistance is no different than the resistance happening in the outside world. If you can learn to push through the resistance happening in your own body when you're building it up to be better, then you can push through anything. You have 30-ish seconds remaining. You can push through this fire. That's it. You get a little water break after this, folks. It's going to be the best 20 seconds of your life right now. This is the moment that you choose what you want your workout to be, okay? Do you want this to be the workout where you pushed yourself as hard as you possibly could and you feel so accomplished coming out? Or do you want this to the workout to feel like, oh, I could have done a little bit more, I could have pushed a little bit harder. You choose, that's your decision. You have 3, 2, 1, resting. What a beautiful position to rest in. All right, folks, we're gonna do one more. We're gonna do our final one, okay? We have push presses. So what that looks like, you're gonna grab a pair of weights or a single weight. You're gonna have a little bend in your knees, it's gonna help you out. You're gonna pop the weight to the top. Watching Emerson, this is your move. 2 minutes of push press, and then your workout is done for the day. A little bit of a longer workout today, but it's totally worth it. We're gonna get started in 3, 2, 1, push press. Now guys, if you are feeling so done, push press with just your arms. Push press with a band, or push press with your weights. Choose the option that works best for you. One size never fits all. We get to choose our own adventure in every single workout. You have the power, okay? We also have the resources. If you ever need a modification, if you ever need something and you're not sure what to do, there's someone always behind the scenes here. Shoot them a message. They will give you the best quality modification for you. That's it, guys. We are crushing it this morning. This is the last 2 minutes of work in your morning. I want you to drive like you stole up. Push to the end. You've got 8 seconds until you're halfway. That's it. And halfway point right now. You're doing fantastic. Emerson's using this opportunity to take a little break. He's going to pop back to it whenever he's ready to. That is exactly what I want to see you doing from home too. If you want to take a break, no problem. Take that little break. Pop back to it as soon as you're able. 40 seconds remaining in your workout this morning, folks. You are so close to finishing. Treat this like the best 30 seconds of your day. Smile, put a smile on your face. Start like fake laughing to yourself. Say, oh my gosh, I love my life so much. Honestly, these are really lame, but doing them to yourself really does change your state. It changes the way that you feel. So it's time to do that in our workout. In the last 13 seconds, I really hope that Kyle behind the scenes can look at me and laugh really hard at all the stupid smiling faces, because everybody's going to be like, because they're pushing so hard, and it worked. I hope I distracted you for those last 15 seconds. All right, guys, that's our workout. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're really proud of you for getting through this very challenging Tuesday. Make sure to check in with a sweaty selfie online, #WeAreProactive, and please check in with #PlantATree to help us with our monthly cause of helping deforestation causes. So #PlantATree, #WeAreProactive. Emerson's going to guide you through a stretch now. Enjoy the rest of your day, folks.
Wow, is all I can say. That was one heck of an upper body session. I thought we were only going to do one of those finishers, but we fit in all 3 in the hour. Amazing work ethic, guys. Really proud of you for your dedication and work ethic. Now is the time to sit on our butts. Let's sit down, let's rest, let's breathe, let's chat and stretch. Gonna start off with some neck rotations here. Oftentimes, while doing upper body, we tense up other muscle groups in our body that are overcompensating for some weak points. So low back, neck, let's stretch. Neck right now, guys. We've done some neck rotations. I like to prop myself up against the wall here. This allows me to help to relax the rest of my body because I'm not working as hard to hold up my torso, so I just get to focus on the neck stretch at hand. One thing at a time. Oh, there we go. We're going to skim our chest, our chin into our chest as we roll side to side, keeping our shoulder blades down and back. Breathing easy, guys. Try your best to relax your body here. 2 more. Last one. One of my favorite all-time neck stretches right there. We like to keep it simple, you guys, but it's effective. Right arm is going to come across the body. You can keep your right arm higher or lower. I can barely lift my arm right now. I don't know about you guys. Right arm's across your body. Left arm's going to grip on over top of your right elbow. Pull it in as tight as you can into your body. Here we're stretching out our side delt. Again, using a chair or wall to prop up your torso is going to help the rest of your body relax. Therefore, you'll get a better stretch in. You can take your right elbow lower or higher for a different type of stretch, targeting all different muscles through your shoulder blade, delt. Deep breathing. I like to change up the angle of the stretch as I go. Switching sides, right arm across the left, hug that left arm across the body. Pull it in nice and tight, guys. Again, changing the height of your left arm. You'll feel this in different areas. And just working on the breath, catching that back, regaining consciousness for some of us. That was a doozy. Very nice, you guys. Right leg is going to go out nice and straight from your body, so right from your right hip bone, straight out. Left leg is going to cross over top of your right leg. Hug your left leg to your body. Yes, this is a bit of a glute stretch, but I'm going to ask you guys physically torso twist to the left. This is a gentle spinal twist here. So if you're experiencing any low back tension, this is a great way to alleviate it. Our glutes are oftentimes super tight, especially from yesterday's session. So your low back might be a little bit fired up, and that's okay. There's a difference between being in pain, low back wise, and just having a tight low back. Pull it in tight, guys, that left knee. Hard, 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 breathe. Okay, relax. Left leg's gonna go out nice and straight from our left hip bone here. Right leg's gonna bend over top of the left. Again, guys, we wanna pull that right knee tight to our chest. That's gonna help to stretch out the glute, and in return, get a nice low back release. Ooh, very nice. I'm gently twisting here, spinal twist to the right. Working on breathing, opening up that chest, letting oxygen flow.
Is it good?
Oh, it's tight. Wow. All right, guys, let's lay down on our backs. This is another great low back stretch. Your heels are planted down on the ground. Let's drive our hips up to the sky into a glute bridge position. Move your hips over to the right. Set them down. Cross your right leg over your left. And drop both knees, fold them down to the left-hand side. I like to always pull my knees a little bit deeper using my hand. That's on the same side as my legs. Try to keep both shoulders down. Look in the opposite direction of your legs. Ooh, that's a really good low back stretch. That little back crack in there. Let's reset our heels and our hips. Square them up to the sky. Drive hips up to the ceiling. Move your hips over to the left. Set them down. Left leg crosses over top of the right. Drop both knees down to the right side. Again, look opposite direction to your legs. Ooh, I'm going to use my right hand to pull down my knees a little bit further. Oh my goodness. And sometimes you don't realize how tight you are until you start stretching. And I'm like, yeah, I should have done this earlier. Oh, it feels so good. Oh, amazing. Let's pull both knees into our chest here, rocking side to side, low back massage. Head stays down. Again, relax your core. Nothing should be too engaged right now. I'm just trying to massage that low back as you rock side to side. Amazing. Let's rock back up to the top. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our Get Jacked Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Starting off the week right, we had a great crew on Monday, and then again today, Tuesday. Tomorrow is Shred Cardio. We look forward to coaching each and every one of you tomorrow for our Shred Cardio session. Join us. It's going to be really intense, but very rewarding. It'll be a fun challenge to wrap up the session. And like Heather said, continue to check in on Facebook, #PlantATree. We're looking forward to helping our planet rebuild after all that deforestation that continues to happen week in, week out. We love you guys. Happy Tuesday, and we'll see you guys back tomorrow. Take care.